All right, it seems so long ago. I kind of remember what I liked and didn't like, but I don't remember a lot of the details. So it'll be going back to my notes. I did take notes for this. So I felt like it was kind of a mixed bag overall. There's some stuff I
Agreed.
really liked. One thing I thought was not good at all. And then I think something in the middle sort of thing. So I was running upstairs to do something, missed the opening, but you said it was like a
It
generic
wasn't
one.
the cool one they did last year.
Because usually I'm like, yeah, they try. Like, even when I don't like it, they at least try to
I feel
do
like they haven't
something
done that as much lately, though.
kind of weird. So this was more like just the main roster. And I thought it was cool because like you take those risks on the NXT, like the farm team sort of one. And if that kind of style works, then you can,
They did that really cool heist one for Money in the Bank, though. That one was
yeah.
really cool.
And then there was the video game one they did that was
that was
cool.
last year, No Mercy.
Yeah, they've done a whole bunch of different things. So you said this one was kind
Even
of
the one on Heatwave when we went live, it was like they're playing the matches off the network or whatever. That was like something at least.
right. So this show opens with, I thought, a great choice and execution for an opening match. Right, we get
Maybe my favorite match.
We get Fraxium. It was my highest rated match. Oh, or do we want to play over under accurate for this?
Oh, right.
If you want to
I
pull
got
that
it
up,
on it.
we should make a little jingle for that where you sing or something.
Yeah, okay.
So it's Fraxium as we call them, and I think that name's kind of catching on.
I think that's what they've been like going with on like Instagram
It's so
or like social media or
much
whatever.
easier than saying Fraser and Axiom
Yeah.
every time.
I don't think it'll ever be like their official name, but I don't mind. Like I feel like that's what people will call them. You know what I mean?
Yes. So they're taking on Chase U, who are the current NXT Tag Team Champions. Just won those titles from Fraxium, right, at the last PLE, or
No,
was
it
it
was
on
on
TV?
Bash, wasn't it? No, because Bash was with Rascals. I think it was just on TV
Could have been.
because Bash was when the Rascals.
So
turned.
this incarnation, because it's part of the storyline, is Andre Chase and Ridge Holland, right? So Hudson's been sort of snubbed as the power guy in this tag team, and Holland was able to do what he wasn't and win those tag team titles. So what do we have here? This starts out, Fraser's flying around the ring until Holland tags in and takes over with his power, including, like, I think it was a stalling butterfly suplex.
and his single knee pad.
I kind of liked his power work in this match.
He did pretty good.
I'm not going to lie.
I'm not usually a Ridge fan, but he was pretty good.
Fraxium worked together to keep control of Chase. Fraser hits the standing shooting star, which is always looks nice. Booker complains about all of the people at ringside for Chase U, which I thought was a fair point, right? Like there's, 3 other people down there? You've got Riley Osborne, Hudson,
Yeah.
and Thea, I would assume.
Yeah.
Holland then takes his turn. He dominates Fraser with suplexes and other high-impact stuff that even impressed Jack, who said it could be a finisher. I don't remember what I put, like some high-impact.
It was like, so he had him on, I think it was like he had him on his shoulder for a Stormbreaker kind of thing, and then, like he turned him into a DDT or something. It was kind of like I had.
It did look good.
Stormbreaker with
You liked
less
it.
rotation. It was pretty good.
And if you're giving Holland credit, you know it was good.
Yeah, because I used to hate him.
I'm sort of indifferent and then like him at times. But
Hey,
anyways,
Dunn was Butch and he did nothing. Okay,
that's true. You can't say that word or Butch snaps now. That was on Raw this week.
I don't know.
Or was it NXT?
It's one of them at least.
Yeah.
Because I think Trick.
Oh, it was Raw because it was Jackie Redmond called him
Yeah,
Butch.
and Shames did in the match, and then Trick had like some diss track on social media, and like I think he's been saying "whoop that Butch."
Yes.
I do like that he hates it, but if it becomes a trigger word for him, I'm gonna.
So that it is.
Then
That's exactly what it's becoming.
That's not good.
Because I thought it
That
was
is
even
not good.
awkward the way Jackie Redmond, like why she even chose to say it, and then he has to get mad and she had to react, like be scared.
I do like him getting mad at it, and it's fine, but like if it starts to become this whole like,
I think that's what it's going to be.
that's not good.
It's like the switch that flips.
It's like Festus.
Yeah.
That's not good. I don't like that.
So, sorry, back to the match. We get a stalling Ridge Holland power slam and diving headbutt, but Fraser flies in to break up the pin. Fraxium finally get to Holland. He tags out. Miscommunication by Fraxium, and Axiom gets crotched. Chase Spanish fly and powerbomb for a good near fall.
I like that.
And I said, Jack liked it. He can add color.
He accidentally crotched him. It was like he was up top. I remember, like I think Fraser was running against Holland, right? And then, so he just knocked him off.
Yeah.
And like so, I thought that was just well done. It's like completely inadvertent.
And it was different because they've been doing they super kick each other,
which they did again in this match.
Yeah.
Like they.
So this was a little different.
So yeah, I did like that.
Lame setup for Ridge to dump both over the barricade. Don't remember, but it annoyed me in the minute. Frog Splash 450 by Fraxium for a near fall. Jack loves the Fraser 450.
He just does it
extra,
so much better.
Extra speed,
he
extra
just does
impact.
It better. Like it feels like the rotation's actually adding impact.
Instead of just looking flashy and going, hey, look how athletic I am.
Like it looks like it's actually propelling him forward.
I'm doing it to generate
Even
more
with the
force.
Phoenix, like he just does it better, and to like where it makes sense that he's doing it.
It does.
You know?
Whereas instead of looking impressive, like flashy, it
actually does make sense. So I really enjoy his version.
Chase U hit a Doomsday Device to Fraser for 2. We get a Buckle Bomb, kick to the head, Northern Grit to Fraser, but that pinfall's broken up there. Superplex chasing the Dragon to Chase, which I love that combination for a 2 count. Chase moves, the Golden Ratio ends up going to Fraser by accident. We get a Powerbomb backstabber to Axiom for 2. And then sort of cutting to the finish, we get a Spanish Fly Phoenix Splash to Andre Chase, and we do have new champions after about 14 minutes. Your thoughts?
13:33.
Yeah.
I thought this was really fun for an opener. It kept a good pace, and honestly, I would have liked the longer match. Because I thought like they could have done a lot more. Like
I think Andre Chase does not get enough credit for being a bit of a technician. Like he's very good.
I just think he needs to get some actual ring gear. Like just put him in tights or something.
It's his thing now, though.
It is, but like it just looks out of place, especially now like everyone else has like wrestling a Chase U shirt, and that's fair. But I feel like everyone else
just keeps having good matches. You know what I mean?
This is really good. I thought even like Ridge looked pretty good, and like again, I've never thought much of him ever.
No, in this power role with 2 small guys, right? It kind of works.
And Fraser and Axiom, I think like they might get tag of the year.
They're my front runner right now.
They've had like great match after great match after great match. They're just like a great combination together, and there's nothing to complain about.
And for me, you're a guy that doesn't really care much about NXT, but you will seek out their matches.
I will watch their matches.
So that's a good sign. They're just, and again, I think they have to stay together because I don't know what either of them does in a singles role.
I think it's a good spot for them. I would, even in this current landscape, I fear for them on the main roster.
Agree.
So I hope they stick around for a while, but like I think they're great value, and I think having the belts on them for a while just makes sense because, like I said, they're just great all around, and I'm looking forward to them versus Rascals.
Yes.
2.0.
Yes.
So I'll see.
And the rumors of if we get the machine guns in there, somehow,
machine guns come in, you gotta do that, right? Like, so I really enjoyed this action. It was great. Some of the near falls were good. I just thought all around it was really well.
Yeah, I thought this was an excellent tag match. Fraser Axiom looked incredible.
Almost fits in the old NXT. I feel like old NXT would have been better and maybe a little longer, but like it wouldn't feel completely out of place.
They could have gone another like 4 minutes for me. Agreed.
I would have gone to 20 even. Like I'd take it.
Holland looked like a legit powerhouse. Tons of crazy combinations and near falls. I was thoroughly entertained to start the show. What was the?
Oh wow, Meltzer went 4 1/4.
So I went 4. So I'm under
4. That's just I'm surprised.
I don't have a problem with 4 1/4
and a 7.89 for cage match.
So I went over them, under Meltzer over cage match, and then after that, right?
Probably the other match I was looking forward to.
Other thing notable, but Holland, remember?
Oh right.
So we get Holland snapping. He destroys everyone in Chase U except Thea Hale, who manages to escape to the floor.
Rampage,
and then Rampage to Chase on the announce table as Hale watches in horror.
Note how the table doesn't break here.
No, Chase gets stretchered out. Crowd chants one more time, which I don't think was the desired response.
I love when the crowd just do that as a joke. Just like the babyface just got destroyed by like a heel.
Do it again.
In a heel turn, they're just like, do it again.
And we go to a commercial because remember it cut out like we were watching a TV show basically, and went to. And then they
proceeded to replay this like at least 2 more times throughout the show.
And my suspicion was, and I don't know if it still is or not, but it seems like less likely, but that Hale is going to be part of it with Holland, but it's just going to take her time to make the turn.
I actually did see. I guess you'll probably mention later, but Holland's promo from NXT.
Yeah,
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, it wasn't bad at all. So then we move on into what I thought was maybe the next best match on the show. Like, I agree. Definitely in my top 3.
Definitely peaked early.
It's the X Division Championship. Zachary Wentz now, no longer Nash Carter, right? Taking on Wes Lee in a non-title match. Was that right?
Yeah, because he only has the X Division title.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So he's not defending that. Sorry, I was thinking Lee.
No, because he won it like the night before, or a couple nights before. So.
Right. So that sort of caveat made me think that Lee is winning, right? But they just don't want to change the title. So that was a nice little misdirection, I guess. Anyways, we get a standoff early because they know each other so well, right? And can anticipate each other's stuff. So we get a twisting dive by Wentz. They end up on the floor. Lee with a chop block on the apron to shift the momentum in his favor. Wentz runs hard face first into the corner as Lee is definitely working more deliberately right now that he's a heel. He's trying to slow it down a little bit.
You can definitely see the difference.
Because his style is usually just...
And it's got like the black kick pad sound set, like the matching with like the design.
Heels love black.
He's got like the slower remix of his theme.
He runs, double stomps Wentz in the corner. Commentary stopped calling the action to hit talking points from this storyline. And if I mentioned it, it's probably because it was to the point where it was annoying me a bit when they stopped calling moves for a lengthy period of time. German suplex, high knee, punt, then another from the apron that turns Lee inside out. Wentz with a floating bro, thanks to you for reminding me that's what it's called, to Lee on the floor. Wentz sent on back in the ring for 2. Meteora countered smoothly into a Wentz Boston Crab. I like that transition.
That was very nice.
Different kicks back and forth before a leaping Rana off the top and a Phoenix Splash from Lee for 2. Wentz kicks out of the cardiac kick, and Vic says Wentz may be Carter when he wakes up. Remember, he made a little shot?
I don't remember that.
So he took the cardiac kick. He's like, but basically, he kicked him so hard he might think he's Carter.
Oh, I do remember. Yeah.
It was kind of like a wink, Nash Carter reference, right? Blockbuster DDT was my best description by Wentz. Thought it looked pretty cool.
It was more like a destroyer, but a DDT.
Yeah, it was cool. Wentz moves and Lee runs into the steps. The ref can use his discretion since this is so personal, which I don't enjoy when they try and wedge that stuff in.
This match is WWE never does that. Like AEW, they do discretion a lot.
There's like some personal feud threshold that this has surpassed for them to let things go.
Which again would make more sense if that's a regular thing they did. But usually they're really on it about the count, regardless.
Exactly. Wentz gets kicked. He leans on the announce table, which promptly collapses because that's why you mentioned it not breaking on the Rampage. So Chase takes a high impact move on the table, doesn't move, and Wentz kind of leans against it, and it just collapses on the floor. So it kind of blew up whatever they were trying to do there, I think, probably. Trey Miguel stops Wesley from using a chair. Lee turns right into a destroyer from Wentz off the apron that looked awesome.
That was really cool.
Really smooth. Back in the ring, Wentz hits a UFO, and he wins this match. I was a little bit surprised.
I was a little surprised too.
Almost 14 minutes. Is this the show where every match was the same length, basically? Yep. Yeah, right. That was pretty weird. You're basically getting 15-minute matches the whole way throughout this show.
Most of them were like
14 to 15.
Between 13 and 14. Yeah. And then the last 2 border on 15.
They were all within like 90 seconds of each other, I think, basically. So your thoughts on this one?
NXT shows, they always go like really short matches. It's weird.
Yeah.
Because TakeOver, you get like some lengthy ones.
You get in and out fast of these shows, man. I kind of like it.
Like, it's good, but I'd like for some of them to be able to breathe,
I'd like if there is a big match or a culmination of a big feud that, they took a little longer.
Which they don't
sure.
sometimes. No. But no, I thought this was good. Probably my second favorite match on the show.
Yep.
Felt like there's a decent story going in, and both of them were good in the ring.
Yes.
Wesley, a little weird, going more deliberate, but not bad. Like,
no, I thought it started out that way, and then it sped up a bit.
It got better towards the end, and good for Wentz. Like, solid win for him, and makes sense.
Because you were surprised, I remember, because I was saying, I think when the match was starting, that Wentz, I like his style the best of all the Rascals. He's my favorite, like, in-ring guy, because he's a little bit more of traditional stuff and not just super fast flipping, flying stuff. He's kind of got some other stuff as well. So yeah, I thought it started out a little bit slow, but in the end, I thought it built into a really good match. And again, I've always liked Wentz's in-ring style, and I thought he got to showcase quite a bit here, considering he's a cast-off from NXT, kind of back from another company, right? They don't have to give him this much or even give him the win here.
I'm surprised, this whole thing with him.
Lee did slow things a bit, and that he's a heel, and it took me a while to get used to it, but I thought a really good match with some big spots. Probably with one being wiped out from the flimsy table. Like, I don't know, maybe they were going to do something cool.
They still kind of managed it with the Meteor to the outside, though.
They did.
Or the Stomp or whatever. Like, it's still, there's something there.
So what were the ratings from other places before I give mine?
Over under Meltzer accurate. Went 3 3/4, and then Cage Match was 7.38.
So I went over Cage Match and bang on. I went 3 3/4.
Yeah, I agree with Meltzer.
I thought a really entertaining match. I quite enjoyed it. Then we kind of hit the opposite of that, unfortunately, right? It's Kelani Jordan defending her.
And I surprisingly enjoyed her last
match. So it's not like we don't like her, because that was her and Ruka.
That was the one we were there for, yeah.
Yeah,
which I thought was pretty good.
I liked it too. So this is Jordan defending her North American Championship against Wendy Choo. And then one of the quotes I guess commentary used that annoyed me, Wendy Choo really bringing nightmares to life.
That's just stupid.
She's just a person with makeup on.
Just dumb.
Really long back and forth with knuckle locks to start, which is never exactly a hot start for me. Jordan's slingshot tornado to the floor usually looks pretty good. Drop kick and a head kick by Lonnie. Tumbling thing for a 2 count. Lonnie and the trio.
Tumbling thing.
This is super detailed.
This is the commentary.
This is what you get a high quality professional podcast like this, okay? Lonnie's in the Tree of Woe on the apron, and we get a basement drop kick to her face. Running boot to Jordan in the corner. First time in this show that Jack has picked up his phone. So that was not a good sign, right? Because you're sort of in front of me a little bit. So I can see you were engaged in the first 2 matches, and this one you're looking.
There it goes.
You're looking for something else to do. Choo is in control of Jordan, and things are really slow, I thought, at that point when she was in control. Jordan finally fights her way out of a second trio woe spot. They run into each other. Both are down. Lonnie briefly fires up, gets caught with a German, but rallies out of the corner, hits a jumping kick and a step-up DDT, followed by a sit-out DDT. Choo sits up, crossbody by Jordan. Choo sits up again, quote-unquote, like she's possessed. No thank you. No thanks. Jordan top rope frog splash for 2. Choo suplex on the floor, then a power bomb out of the corner in the ring, followed by a coloss, as you reminded me it was.
Yeah,
what it
was. What it looked like.
For a 2 count. Oh, here we go. Ready? Very big botch out of the corner. Hopefully Jack remembers the details.
Oh yeah, wasn't it like they were going for some superplex thing and like Choo like slipped.
Just sort of they both back slipped down off, and yeah, it was rough. Choo applies her submission. Jordan fights her way into the corner. Meaningless handspring flatliner by Jordan. Then a 450 split-legged moonsault, and it's over. And just 13 minutes long.
I don't know what meaningless flatliner is supposed to mean.
I don't either. I should have. This is what I'm going like minimal notes sort of thing. Meaningless handspring flatliner. Huh. Oh, I guess because I don't think the handspring added anything to it is probably what I'm saying.
Was that the one where she did like? Remember she did a really bad handspring? Oh,
and then had to like basically walk back 2 steps to hit the flatliner. Anyways,
it's like I feel like that's handspring is supposed to be like kind of.
So the handspring thing stopped short, and then she had to close the gap.
Yeah,
so it's like why do the handspring?
You're supposed to actually like lean against the ropes, but I feel like she kind of like stopped at the ropes, but like you
that's
know,
right.
You gotta, like
I think that's what it was. So I didn't think this was very good. I thought when Choo was in charge, it was really plodding, and then when Kelani was in control, there were issues as well. A couple clear mistakes, a disinterested crowd. I thought, especially after the first 2 matches, right, didn't really help this.
Yeah, this one definitely was a lull.
They both worked hard. I don't think things worked well, and I think Jordan has a bright future, not on the mic at this point, but
no, she needs like actual character. Because I was even saying here, her entrance and theme, it's all so generic and just lacks any personality.
She needs some more time in NXT.
Absolutely, which is fine because that's what you're here for. But
what did you think?
I didn't think it was great, honestly. And like as someone who like was higher than I expected on her last match, this one was not a follow-up.
And that's inconsistency when you're kind of an inexperienced person.
Yeah,
right?
again, like
it's not a death knell for her or anything.
She'll work on it. So yeah, I didn't love it. Like I didn't go 2.5 or like even 2.25.
Over under accurate. What do you got? So I'll take your 2.5.
I'm gonna go okay. 1.25 for Meltzer.
Ooh, I went over.
A little harder. I'll go 2.25 because I honestly didn't.
I went 2.5.
And then 4.37 from Cage Match.
So around there. Like I'm a little higher than both of them. Oh well, quite a bit higher than Meltzer, a little higher than Cage Match. I went 2.5 stars. And then Tatum Paxley comes out right and chokes out Wendy Choo with a dragon sleeper and leaves a little doll on Choo's pillow.
Spooky feud, yay.
I guess that's what we're getting. Hooray. Then it's the other North American Championship. It's Oba Femi defending against Tony D, of course. So we've got Tony hitting a clothesline that sends Femi to the floor a couple minutes into this. German suplex, another clothesline to send Femi to the floor again a bit later. Femi eventually catches Tony and runs him into the corner. Tony runs the ropes, and it looks like he tweaks his ankle, remember, and basically collapses. And they do show the replay. It was
legit for a second.
They do show slow-mo replay, and he steps on Femi's foot and really rolls his ankle. So it's one of those, it hurts right away because I've done it a million times in basketball and volleyball, and then you're just sort of seeing how bad it is, and obviously he was okay to finish, right? Anytime Tony shows any signs, basically Femi just catches him and throws him. Hits a nice shoulder breaker as well. Femi dominates with clubbing blows to the back of Tony's neck and a body slam. Tony hits a sudden DDT onto the apron to sort of slow Femi down. Tony hits an overhead belly-to-belly, bunch of right hands, a regular belly-to-belly, and a perfect plex in a nice little sequence there. Tony power slam, and then an electric chair for a 2 count. Femi shoves Luca Crucifino, throws stacks over the barricade, but then misses.
Good. You kind of chucked him.
Yes, and then misses Tony and hits the steel steps because he took that time to take out the other 2. Tony spear once we're back in the ring for a 2 count. Femi throws Tony, and a clothesline takes them both to the floor. Slap to Tony on the apron as Femi, that's one of his spots kind of thing. He slaps you in the chest because he can reach that high from the floor. Powerbomb back in the ring, but Tony manages to kick out. Tony escapes a second powerbomb, hits a Dominator, but can't make the cover. Femi then with a running uppercut in the corner, 2 consecutive powerbombs. And it's over in, guess what, 13 and change, right? As I'm sure you know.
46.
Yeah. So I thought the second half of this was better than the first.
I thought it was okay. I don't remember paying attention a lot.
I think we're on the same lines. I'm glad the injury in the middle was minor and that Tony could continue with the match. And Femi's still being presented as a monster for the most part, but Tony did get a couple opportunities in this match. His power just proves to be too much, right? And that's kind of a believable story to tell because he is just a massive dude.
It worked.
I thought they pulled this out in the second half, but I don't think it was great. What's our? What did you think, and what's our over under?
It was 3 stars from Meltzer and 6.68 from Cage Match.
So I was bang on 3 stars. I'm with Meltzer on that.
I'd go like 2.5. I wasn't really paying attention.
No, you weren't into it super much, right? And it's part of it is I just don't think there's much Tony's going to do that interests you at this point because he's a cartoon character and solid in the ring, but it's kind of similar all the time.
I just don't really like him.
Yeah. Then we go to one that really over-delivered in a way for me, and that is Roxanne Perez defending her NXT Women's Championship against Jaida Parker. So I really think, I'm pretty high on Jaida Parker. I think charisma, attitude, character, she's well ahead of the curve, and then sort of wrestling moveset, to use that word wise, she's improving, right?
So yeah, I think her finisher, she needs something
a lot of
different.
A lot of butt-based offense from her, right? But so she gets to cut a promo on her way to make her entrance that I thought was a cool choice because she does speak really well and conveys a really good attitude.
Yeah, it was kind of like the walking to the curtain kind of thing, which WWE's been doing a decent amount, which I like.
Yep. Holds encounters early, which was a bit surprising, but nice to see from Parker, right? So showing that she's learning some stuff here, which is good. Perez slaps Parker. It makes Parker mad, but Perez escapes the corner butt drop move. Parker hits a butterfly suplex. Then on the floor, she catches a diving Perez and climbs the steps with her, which is cool. But then Perez escapes, pulls Parker down onto the steps, and curb stomps her on the steps as well. Perez now targets Parker's injured midsection. She pulls Parker through the corner to the middle turnbuckle, hits her midsection with an abdominal stretch with shots to Parker's ribs. Perez hits Parker's corner teardrop move, and Parker ends up laying across the corner, sort of set up for that. Parker catches a Perez kick and picks her up to deliver a power bomb. She then catches fire, culminating with a spine buster for a 2 count. Parker hits a top rope teardrop and a reverse suplex, but the hypnotic is countered into a crossface before transitioning into the rings of Saturn. Parker powers out, Samoan drop, but then misses a Vader bomb. Parker avoids the pop rocks, hits the hypnotic, but she hit it too hard and it sends Perez spilling to the floor, so Parker can't follow up with a cover. She goes for another hypnotic on the floor, but Perez moves and Parker goes through the barricade, a spot that they now love in WWE. And I think we got it on Raw this week too, maybe, if I remember correctly. Perez hits a pop rocks onto a piece of the barricade.
Did not look more impactful. Like it looked less impactful than hanging on the floor.
Yeah, because there was less space for her to.
Looks padded, if anything.
They barely beat the 10 count, and then once they're in the ring, it's an immediate pop rocks that is effective. So it's over after 14 and change, I think it was.
This one was, 14.
I thought this was a really good match, over-delivered. I'm super happy for Jaida Parker in this. I think she kind of elevated herself here. The crowd was really into it by the end. Competitive match. Parker really held her own here, and it was a pretty fast-paced match. Perez continues to roll. I mean, I think she has to be in the running for Female Wrestler of the Year, honestly.
I mean, if we don't have a lot.
So Parker proves she can hang with main eventers, and she needs to just keep adding and building off of this.
I do think she's not title ready, but like North American for sure.
I think she's going to be a big deal if she continues to develop. I'm pretty high on this match, so we'll see. I don't know what anyone else thought. We'll see what over under accurate.
I thought it was good, not great.
Like, I think I liked it a lot more than you will.
Yeah, because like I think Parker's decent, but it does need some work, and I don't watch a lot of her character stuff. And Perez is good, but like I feel like she hasn't had the right opponent a bit. Because this was fine to me, and then Lola Vice, that one wasn't good.
Perez does. I think you're very right that Perez needs some sort of like
she's good, but it's just because there's not a lot of people on her level.
She needs
right
a huge feud, yeah.
So with Julia on the horizon, that's good. And Vacker's got to be.
They could do a really good Julia's a babyface chasing that title. Like that could really, and then that should be Perez moves on if that's a good feud.
So I thought this was solid. I'd go like maybe like 3 1/4.
I went 3 3/4. So what am I?
You're bang on with Meltzer and then 7.75.
Oh, Meltzer liked it too. So pretty, I would say accurate for those 2 ratings. So after the match, right, the lights go out, music and smoke, and it's Julia. She gets in the ring, gets face to face with Perez, who just kind of lifts up her title. And yeah, that's kind of, I'm anticipating really good things because Julia's
That
really
should be
good.
good. I don't think I've actually watched her.
I've seen her maybe 3 times
because I
in
watched
Stardom.
Hacker, obviously.
Because remember, I always go and try and watch Stardom and then go, it's all in Japanese and I don't know any of the stories or who anyone is.
Yeah.
And even if the in-ring's really good, I'm just like, I want to know what's going on, sort of thing. So yeah, I thought that was a really good match, over-delivered. Only thing left is the main event. It's all Ego Ethan Page defending his NXT championship against Joe Hendry. And of course, we get Trick Williams as a special guest referee because Ethan Page has put his hands on officials and nobody wants to work with him.
His ref attire did make me laugh. It's like a striped vest, but it's just like open so you can see his abs and whatever. It
was a very good choice. So Page is in Trick's face right away, telling him to call it down the middle. A few quick spots early on, right, to show that Trick will do his job and call things fairly. I think it's like he's calling the 5 count as they're each backed into the corner or something like that. So it's like, well, his intentions are to like call it down the middle. He's a good, honorable baby face, right? So Hendry does some athletic things, flips around to escape Page's holds. We get a shoulder tackle and a stalling vertical by Hendry. He carries Page around the ring before dropping him. I thought we got more of the Hendry power spots that I've said they should be capitalizing on because the guy's a beast. Page boot puts him in control of the match. Hendry ends up powering out of a guillotine with another suplex. Page with a kick and a suplex of his own. Both up top teasing moves. We end up with a Page avalanche power slam. Page DDT to Hendry onto the championship belt. Trick has recovered at this point, and he stops the second ref from making the count. So I sort of missed details of what's all going on there. But like Trick gets taken out, there's another ref, etc., etc. Page punches the second ref when Trick moves. Trick's distracted long enough for Page to hit a low blow, followed by the Ego's Edge, and Page retains after about 15 minutes. Big shocker.
15:07, I want
right?
to say.
I thought good, not spectacular, and like some moving parts with the referees.
I thought the finish was kind of well done though, just like the low blow, sneaky kind of behind there.
That works for Page, right? Like that's how he rolls.
Although doesn't help him that he gets fandom pinned all the time, then cheats to win. So
the cheating to win is fine.
That's fine.
Mid Carter's getting pinfall, like visual pins on him all over the place.
Even Hendry doing it the other week, I didn't love.
So I thought Hendry got to showcase his power. The crowd really, really loves him. And it's a quality title defense for Ethan Page. I thought a good match overall, but not great. I'm interested to see what the rest of if for over-under accurate.
Yeah, I thought it was good, not great. I probably enjoyed more than the last match just because, like...
How dare you?
These guys are better.
Like, I like the other one considerably better.
But I'd probably only go... I'd almost go the same, but I'll go 3.5.
I went 3.5 as well.
And, sorry, Meltzer went 3.5, and then 6.62 for Cage Match.
So yeah, pretty accurate with both of those. And then Pete Dunne shows up and hits the bitter end to Trick on the floor. So that's obviously where we're going. Overall, pretty entertaining show. 3 matches I thought were really good in the tag title: Lee Wentz and Parker Perez. And the only one I thought was not very good was Kelani Jordan and Wendy Choo. So I thought it was solid. I went with the B show. It went by really fast, and I enjoyed the majority of it. Right, so I thought it was a solid B.
I think I go B- just because I enjoyed it a little less. Like I really enjoyed the first 2 matches, and like women's North American no good. I didn't honestly love the men's North American either, and like the women's title match was pretty solid, and then the main event was solid. Yeah, but still no takeover.
So a B- and a B. No, definitely not a takeover. Those were like A-, A+, like constant A's. Basically.
And I will say that every time, even though it's never going to be a takeover.
But a good pay-per-view offering, and it's free for me because I already have the network, so I was happy with it.
Which reminds me, we went the whole summer without revisiting that.
You did.